Gentlemen, it's go time. It's go time like it's never been before. Either things are going to go great and you need to get your ducks in a row now before they go too great, e.g. the Bitcoin price goes to the moon, or things are going to go wrong and you need to get your ducks in a row before they go wrong, e.g. Bitcoin price tanks. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's fucking go time. And truthfully, the law of averages ensures that the majority of people are exactly that, average. If you're watching this, most of you are average. Most of you cannot be exceptional by virtue of the nature of exceptionalism. You may be exceptional amongst the general populace because you're all fans of mine, but measured against other fans of mine, the majority of you will be average. That's what it means. But that's fine, because you can win if you're average if you're first. You can win if you're average if you try harder than the rest. You can win if you're average if you pay attention. You can win if you're average if you do the right things, if you're not lazy. It's very easy to win if you're average. You just need to get another advantage. And the easiest advantage is I'm prepared to put in the work every day, show up, and I'm going to start right now. I guarantee you results if you do that. Guaranteed. I put up a video about Bitcoin the other day about how someone wanted me to invest in a hotel, but I didn't want to do it because Bitcoin was a sounder investment. And that's true. If Bitcoin's going to do what everyone thinks it is, it's actually going to suck a lot of liquidity out of a lot of markets. I mean, it's actually going to be quite hard to make money. It's going to be hard for you if Bitcoin continues on a parabolic run. To offer a service to somebody, to go up to somebody and say, hey, I can make you money if you pay me X amount of money. They'll think I'd rather just buy Bitcoin and I haven't got to hire this dickhead. Bitcoin can make it harder for you to make money. You do know that, don't you? Game theory would argue then that while making money is still easy to do, you should make as much as possible and buy Bitcoin so that when that happens, it doesn't matter because you have enough to retire. You do know that if Bitcoin proves itself the way you hope it does, that your chance of getting paid any money by anybody goes to zero because they're all just going to buy Bitcoin instead. You do know that, don't you? Have you thought about that? I don't think you have, so let me run it past you one more time. However you intend on making money currently is asking somebody else to pay you money. You can't generate money from thin air because you're not the Fed. You can't make money. You are given money by somebody for something. Once Bitcoin proves itself as the asset that you believe it's going to be, people would rather buy Bitcoin than give you the money for whatever service you offer, meaning it's going to become very difficult for you to earn any money and buy Bitcoin. So you have to buy it now before it blows up. If you're right, and if you're wrong, you still need to find a way to make money now. This is the beauty of what I wanted to say to you. There's only one answer to all things. The answer is always the same. Doesn't matter how this visa shit plays out. Doesn't matter what happens. What matters is you need money. I hate to be a ruthless capitalist, but I've lived my life and I've realized that I've never, ever been in a situation and regretted having loads of money. Ever. Whether I was in jail and I could pay for my mother and my children, whether I had legal problems and I could hire the best lawyers, whether I went driving and my car broke down and I could just abandon the car, I didn't care if it got stolen, it doesn't matter. There has never been a time in my life where having loads of money was bad. Ever. It's always an advantage. It's a cure-all. Same with strength. I've never thought, damn it, I'm too strong. Damn it. Wish I wasn't so strong. That doesn't happen. These are the two things that you can never get enough of. Which is why they're the two things you should be focused on. Because once you get enough, you get to observe the game from above. You get to watch the ants argue and scatter around like I do. You get to jump in and out to troll people, to be funny. But none of it really matters. And you can have your own personal view on society and your personal view on trying to save civilization. Absolutely, you should. But whether your personal view is enacted and you win, or your personal view is refuted and you lose, either one of those scenarios would be better if you had money.
When me and my crew walk in a room, even if it's almost like an energy. Some guy can be eating his dinner, not even see us walk in and go, 6 predators. It's like the rabbit when the fox comes. Like you can smell when the guys turn up. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's experienced it. Everyone's seen it. So anyone I associate with, I have these very stringent metrics, and they're basically just to make sure that nobody gets inspired by something they can't resist to snake us. And also nobody's overly sloppy and allows a way for us to be infiltrated and destroyed. And one of the easiest ways that people, especially in the modern world today, especially people in my position, are infiltrated and destroyed are women. So with women, I correlate that very heavily. If you get a guy who's thirsty and he's on your crew, let's say I have problems with another crew, let's say, and I know they have a member who's thirsty. That is the easiest job in the world. You get one hot bitch to Instagram message, you're gonna find out where they are, what they're doing, where they've been, the hotel room right now. It's fucking done deal. You can do whatever you want to them idiots, right? You gotta have guys who can turn that shit down. I've had it a bunch of times in my life where I've been in countries. I was in Sofia, Bulgaria. I was talking to this girl. She's like, hey, 10 out of 10. And I've been talking to her for a few weeks. She's like, hey, let's meet at this place. I'm like, let's go here. No, this is my favorite place. Let's go here. And I was like, no. I'll turn pussy down. I could have been wrong. Could have been right. Could have been right. We're never gonna know. I'll turn it down. But if you have that guy in your crew, hey bro, she's so hot, bro. She's so hot. That's problems for you and him and everyone else. So you gotta be very careful with the kind of life you're living. But if you live with people who have their lives in order, it's important. But professionalism is also a really big one. When I see people who are sloppy, it makes me very uncomfortable. Well, emotions are feedback. The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional. Rage, pure rage. But it's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize it and how you process it, right? It's stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? I'm not even that good at chess, right? My father was a grandmaster. I'm like 1800 ELO. I'm okay. I was a child chess prodigy, but I stopped playing chess professionally when I was like 8. So I'm as good now as I was. In fact, I'm worse now than when I was 8 because I've never taken any lessons or anything properly since because my mother and father broke up. We moved to England. My dad stayed in America. Lost my chess coach, and England didn't have a chess infrastructure. America had a chess infrastructure in the lower income schools. My dad used to go to the ghetto schools because he was black. Go to the black schools and teach them how to play chess. So we had a big infrastructure.
So you peaked at 8.
I peaked at 8, yeah. But chess is a fantastic game because in the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you played, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you, if you lose a scenario, you made a mistake. Maybe it's a tiny one. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Whatever, but you made a mistake, and you learn absolute and utter accountability for yourself. And that mentality is extremely powerful to apply to all things in life. The position I'm in now as the most hated man in the world, although I agree and I truly believe it's unfair, I still take complete responsibility for. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I'm telling you why it happened when I talk about TikTok and YouTube shorts, but I'm not gonna blame them. Absolutely, they're a company making money and they're monetizing the best they can, fantastic. All of this is my fault. But the Bugatti on my drive is my fault. And the yacht is my fault, and the private jet's my fault. So it's all my fault. So I take the good with the bad. I take all responsibility for absolutely everything, including if a woman leaves me, if a woman stays, if I end up heartbroken, if I end up filled with rage, I take responsibility for that.